Hi, Stitchy friends. It's Kara, the Granite State Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram, and welcome. Today is Sunday, July 7th, so I hope everyone had an enjoyable weekend and everyone was safe, no accidents or injuries from celebrating the 4th of July. And so today here in New Hampshire, it is a nice, hot day. I just got out of the shower a little while ago. My hair is still damp, but it's like that's what you do when you're hot, right? You just take cool showers and sit by an air conditioner. I just had my first experience dealing with a drone. I was sitting here setting things up to film, and all of a sudden I could hear like this buzzing noise outside. And of course, the dogs all went running out onto the deck. And I'm like, what is that? And I go outside and I look, and there is a drone delivering a package. Dropped it right by my back door, got up, flew away. Like, wow. Number one, it surprises me that anyone would be delivering on a Sunday, especially for a holiday weekend. But yeah, think about it. If eventually, I am guessing that everything's going to be delivered by drones, right? I know that a lot of states have already been using them for quite a while. They're going to need an air traffic controller to direct the drones around. Can you see them all smashing into each other up there? Because they're not going to know, right? Or probably they will. Who knows? AI nowadays. But anyway, let's get into stitching. Okay, so I do have a finish to show you. I have my WIPS. I haven't really, the month of June, I basically focused on 2 or 3 things, and that's it. And so far, the month of July, I have been focusing on one thing. So I will show those to you. I did find my haul from Hobby House, so I have that to show you. I went to Stitch Maine last Saturday, so I'll talk about that. And let's get started. Okay, so my first finish that I have to show you, well, my only finish I have to show you, what am I talking about? I think this is my second finish of this year though, which is, if you know me, that's quite an accomplishment. Okay, so it is the 2023 Collector's Heart. And yes, I did start this in 2023. And it's such a small pattern. Why did it take me so long? There you go. And she is done. This is what I finished at StitchCon. I had everything done, and then I was even good, Sarah, and I stitched my initials in, and I had originally stitched them in over here, and then I realized, oh shoot, I have that button to sew on. So I had to rip out my initials, sew the button on, and then I just stuck my initials down here. And this originally had said 2023, but of course I changed it to 2025. And she's done. And this was stitched on the called for fabric, which I believe is parchment, and it was stitched using cottage garden thread, leather bound, just that one thread, and it came out beautifully. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to go grab a drink of water. Okay. Next we have, and you've all seen this pattern, the letter A by Nora Corbett. And I thought I had completed this before I left for StitchCon, and then when I went to pull this out, I realized that I hadn't. And poor Allie at StitchCon, she asked me, "How's my letter A coming, Grammy?" "Oh, it's almost done, Allie." How's Baby Dragon?" "Not so much, Allie." So here she is. Now, I had started stitching the wings. That's the final thing I have to do other than the back stitching and the beading. And as I was stitching this, I thought, wow, that would look really pretty if I added some sort of opalescent blending element. So I put a hold on that. And then I realized, well, that's not going to work because these won't have the opalescent in it. Because obviously the A is supposed to be in the background and the wings are in front of it. I'll have to edit that out if I choose to do so. So there she is. I just need to get on the ball. Allie's going to be here on the 28th, so I really need to get this finished up for her. And the dogs agree. That's why they're barking. They're barking at me. Get on the ball, will ya? Okay. Next. This is the one. So at StitchCon, I was working only on the collector's heart because I wanted to get that done. It was so close to being done. I spent 2 whole days just trying to finish that up. And that flower motif in the middle took a lot of work. So then once that was finished, I switched over to the next one on my list that I want to get finished. And this is Honey Fair by October House. And this is very close too to being a finish. Oh, I didn't tell you, letter A from Nora is being stitched on 32 count water lily linen by Witchell, and all the floss is Classic Colorworks. So this one is being stitched on 30 count parchment from Weeks Dye Works, and is all the called for DMC. Oh, of course I got some hanging threads there, but that's okay. Okay, so since you have last seen this, I've gotten all the flowers added. Did all these flowers. As it turned out, I was missing a vine, a little branch somewhere, so I had to add that in. I came over to this side, did these flowers, and then when I was at Stitch Maine last Saturday, I worked on this tulip over here. So that's where she is. The next thing I have to do after that is that giant bee skip right here in the middle. And then she'll be done. I can't wait to work on that. That is going to be so much fun working on that bee skip. Okay, and then Lady of the Flag did get a couple of stitches of love. At the end of last month, after I filmed. And well, what am I talking about? At the end of May after I filmed, right? I think that's the last time I filmed, other than to bring you my StitchCon recap. Got a bunch of thread there. And she's coming along. I came in and added some more black, and that was basically all I did. And this is being stitched on the specialty linen from Hare and Rabbit, the We the People, and it's a 32 count. Whoops, put my threads back in there. Okay, so those are the ones that I was stitching on. My new start for July 1st, Amy suggested that we do Queen of Freedom. I never remember that name. Queen of Freedom. And I was like, sure, why not? I love starting another mirror. So here's the pattern. And Amy borrowed her pattern from one of our friends, but I'm like, I'm sure I have that pattern somewhere in my stash. It took a little digging, but I found it. Isn't that awful? You have to go digging for your mirror patterns. So this one I am stitching on. It's another specialty fabric. If you recall, when I had gotten my Lady of the Flag, I had purchased that from a destash site, and the person who was destashing it had actually started it, and she had started it on this linen. Which is, I think, the Declaration of Independence, but this is by Fabric Flair. So as you can see, it's another printed linen. And I really wanted to use this. I started this on the fabric that I bought at Keepsakes. But, and as much as I love it, I think it's called Stone Age. But it was a dyed fabric, and even though it was a 32, the holes were really tight. And I started it and did not like it. And I'm like, no, this is not going to work. These holes are too tight. It's going to be tight when it comes to the beads. Even though I love the fabric and I love the color, I'll just save it for something else. And I remembered that I had this fabric. And I was looking in my boxes of fabric, couldn't find it. So then I just started pulling everything out. I'm like, I know it has to be in here. Well, it was folded in half this way. So all I saw was the white side because, like I said, it's printed. So finally I found it. And I have not put this down since I started it on the 1st. I just absolutely love it. Don't mind the clips in there. I got my fabric all folded and everything else because I'm an in-hand sewer. So there we go. I did a middle start and I'm coming over to the side. Grab the pattern here. So I'm coming over this way. This is where her arm and her hand are resting. And this is her lap. So, it's the start. You can see one of the stars there. So this is the flag. I had to rip out this dark navy blue here. I've already ripped that out twice. I was off a whole row. I had gone up and gone up here. And then when I came down to the bottom, I was off a whole row. So I had to rip that all out. And then, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to stitch this then and keep going this way. And then I did the same thing. I started going up again, missed a whole row. So that blue is my nemesis, I think. But I absolutely love this pattern. Love it. So glad that Amy suggested that we start this. And now our friend Carol and her sister Karen, who have already stitched this, who Amy borrowed the pattern from, they decided that they were going to start Lady of the Flag on July 1st. So that bunch of fun stitching going on. They'll probably finish their Lady of the Flag way before I finish mine. Okay, whoops, and this white goes somewhere, probably in here. So that's it for my one finish and my WIPS. So now let me move on to my haul from Hobby House. Okay, so I got so many fun things at Hobby House. The first thing I got was a skein of the Gloriana cinnamon. This seems to be out everywhere, and they had it in stock. So I picked that up for my chatelaine. I got a package of white Dames of the Needle pom-poms. And then I got this. So adorable, so stinking cute. Mary Lou, you're gonna love this. I saw this, I walked by again, and then finally I'm like, no, I just have to get it. It was calling to me. It is this little bling bunny, and it is a needle book. Has a little snap on the inside, it's hidden. And I mean, it is just so precious. So precious. Love it. So here are the patterns that I picked up. Okay, so this is called Patriotic Trio. Love it. That will have to come out for next year. And then, of course, we got the exclusive patterns for Hobby House. This one is Scarlet House, Eleanor Roberts. And of course, these will be available next year. And this one is called Hobby House Landing. And I love this by Heartstring Sampling. Look at that. It's the Hobby House. Love this. I might have to start this for Sampler September. Okay, then I got a couple of sewing projects. I got a felt kit, and I just fell in love with this. I think it is so cute and just so happy. It's by Buttermilk Basin, and it is a sewing mat. There's the design. Look at that duck right there. And it comes with all the felt pieces, or wool, I should say. It's wool applique. But I just love this. I think that's going to be adorable. Then I picked up, this is from the Gentle Thread Needle Art Designs. I got this banner, the red, white, and blue. Little wall hanging. And then I got this one, and I love this. Land That I Love. And you make these little rosettes out of fabric. So cute. So cute. And then, of course, I had to get the fabric. So here we go. We got blue. We got a cream that has motifs in it. Got another blue. Got a deep red. And another red. And then another cream colored that has stars in it. Oh, all yummy stuff. I can't wait to start on these. Those will probably be next year's project too. Okay, so now let's move on to the retreat. Okay, so Stitch Maine is held up in Holywell, Maine, which is right by Augusta, and it's held at, I guess it's a B&B, um, but it does have a little conference center attached to it, so you can stay there. I don't know how many guest rooms there are there, but it looks like to be, at least a handful. And the conference room, the conference center is just the perfect size to hold this retreat. There's usually about 75 people there, and that's the perfect size. And I guess they hold weddings and other types of events there. So, and it's just so much fun because it's a smaller crowd, so you get to really, interact and socialize and meet up with old friends. So it's very nice. So we were all handed this bag. We all got a project bag, and it's little anchors. And same on the back. And it has the button clasp on the front. And the inside fabric is bubbles. How cute is that? And this was made by Boulder Valley Stitching. And this woman stitched up 75 of these. I think 76 because they even used one as a door prize. So Boulder Valley Stitching. I will look her up, and if she has a shop or a web page, I will link that below because she certainly deserves some recognition. And inside the bag, we each had a skein of Threadworks overdyed floss. I don't see a color on this. Now, one of the vendors there, Stephanie, the New England Stitcher, she makes such fabulous crafts for stitching and knitting and everything. She's a quilter, she does it all. So I had pre-ordered with her because I saw my friend Amy from Two Cross Stitchers. She had gotten this at the Library Stitches Retreat. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. So I contacted Stephanie and I said, can you make one for me? And here it is. It's so adorable, and it is a bead box. And it has the plastic bead stuff in there. But I wanted to get this so I would have this ready to go for, and it's magnetized, it just sticks back together. But I wanted to have this to do the beading for the letter A. So now I have no excuse, right? I ordered the beading needles, I have the clear filament, I have everything that I need. So I need to get the wings finished and be able to start on the beading. So I picked that up from Stephanie. I also got this from Stephanie, or these from Stephanie, I should say. I picked this up. This is to hold your yarn cake, and it comes with a strap. So you can strap it to your wrist. So like if you're out somewhere, she was saying that she had used this at her daughter's recital or game or something, and she just had it stitched to her wrist. This attaches to the top, and you can just crochet. You don't have to worry about having a bag or anything with you, because your yarn cake is sitting right on top of this. And there you go. I thought, genius. She comes up with such cool ideas. She really does. And she makes them all herself too. She has one of those laser cutter machines, and she's just so talented. So then I picked up some little key fobs. The first one is a Stitch Maine. And then she had done all the characters so far for the Stacy Nash animal crackers. Here's the rabbit. And then I got Chili because that's the one I'm starting on. But she had them all there. All there. So adorable. Again, so talented. Thank you, Stephanie. So those were in the bag. So I'm just going to put these back in here. Then we got this Maine insulated ice cup coolie, and it's the state of Maine. Very cool. And of course, people were handing out things too. And this came from Sarah, the Northwood Stitcher. She was handing out these little bags, and they came complete with as many glue sticks as you would ever need. And then she also put in some chenille trim, red and blue. Perfect for the patriotic season. You know, and then there were people handing out floss drops and other little accoutrements. And then we also got this in the bag. And I don't know who this is by, but it's so cute. So darn cute. I don't know how people think of these things. I really don't. And it is a little, one of the little ruler boxes, but it has a little safety pin on top. Clothespin on top. So you can use this to hold something. You can put something inside there if you want. How stinking adorable. I'm so thankful for people that have all this creative energy locked up inside their brains, because I certainly don't qualify that category. So that was Stitch Maine, and that was, like I said, it's such a wonderful retreat. It's just one day, and you go up, and it's 9 to 5. We have lunch right there, and it's just perfect. And it was a rainy day, so it was, what a better way to spend the day, right? Inside stitching with a bunch of friends. So that was great. The last thing I have to show you, this was my 4th of July, well, my July box from It's So Emma, but I know that's not, why can't I think of the name? It's escaping me right now. I know that you're all screaming at me. But anyway, oh, Backwater Shop, duh. So we got these beautiful project bags. And this is the pattern that we got. Isn't that adorable? Love it. Love those ladybugs. With all the floss. And it comes with Fiber on the Whim, Morganite, Ada, and that's a light pink. And then it came with these cute little boxes. They're like little gift bags, gift bag boxes. They're so adorable. So that came in the mail. And I think that's it. So plans. I really need to finish letter A. I need to resist the temptation to work on Queen of Freedom and get the letter A finished. I also need to get Allie's sweater finished. So they're coming on the 28th of July. That gives me roughly, what, 2.5 weeks? So I need to get my butt in gear. So that's it. Thanks for joining me today. And I hope wherever you are that you're staying cool. So stay safe, stay cool, and happy stitching. Bye.